Welcome back to Relationships at Work, the leadership guide to creating a workplace we love. I'm your host, Russel Lolacher, communications and leadership nerd with a couple of decades of experience and a heap load of curiosity on how we can lead and work together to improve the employee experience. This show, great resource to help us with that. Every week on the show, I talk with local or global leaders on topics that are here to help you improve the workplace. We've tackled so many topics. Activism, plain language, imposter syndrome, diversity, negativity, culture renovation, mental health, so many topics. We are getting very near to the 100 mark of episodes. So if you haven't looked back in our archives in a while, I really recommend you do that because they are useful, really helpful. I've been very lucky to have some pretty big brains on this show that are here to help us get the workplace better. And now as an added bonus, I'll be sharing an additional episode pulled from the pages of our weekly Raw Note, which you can still subscribe to. Just go to russellolacher.com or relationshipsatwork.ca. There's some free interviews you can subscribe to, and then you've signed up for Raw Note as well. This is just a quick, valuable bit of information on top of the regular show. Usually just under 10 minutes, quick and easy. So the Raw Note today I'm passing on to you is called, we should really listen to the one-word answer. Do you want to know how our connection is with our colleagues, coworkers, and employees? Check out how many words they use when we ask them questions. How's the project going? Fine. Can you look up that file and print it off before 2 p.m.? Okay. For next time, could you make sure you include these 3 bullets? Gotcha. Your work needs to be delivered faster. Okay. Sure. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Thanks. It's like you're having a text message conversation with a teenager. If it happens on occasion during a busy time, that can be understood. People are juggling lots of priorities and are probably overwhelmed. So to get recognition or acknowledgement is, sometimes enough when it's that crazy. But if it's from those employees that you're not regularly hearing from, those that don't ask questions, don't offer ideas or alternatives, they don't share their expertise regularly, they don't push back around their own boundaries, those one-word answer people should be seen as a red flag. If you're looking for a sign in how our employee relationships are going, this is it. Check out how many words they use when they respond to questions or suggestions. Because repeatedly using one word equals not so good. Usually when someone feels undervalued, unheard, underappreciated, they'll use as few words as possible to get out of any interaction with those they feel are the source or contributor to that unease. That one word is their way of spending as little time and as little effort as possible in that particular work relationship. Okay? Yep. Sure. It's the absolute minimum effort they need to provide to get out of an interaction they don't want to be in. That one word is communicating a lot. It's telling us the relationship is fractured, or at least needs to be investigated. Whether you want to call it quiet quitting, unengaged, disinterested, checking out, whatever, it's one of the signs of a cracked connection. So as leaders, we have to be proactive in mending that disconnection. And as I've said on this show before, passive leadership isn't leadership. We have to be proactive. We have to do something. It's on us. In this instance, we're being quietly, with just one word, being called to lead. Now, if you want to fix this fracture, here's a few things to think about. Open and empathic communication. You need to initiate a conversation with this person in a private and very comfortable setting. Approach the conversation with empathy and make sure you're using active listening. It's key that listening is the part here, not defensiveness, not listening to respond, but active listening. Encourage them to share their thoughts, concerns, and feelings without fear of judgment. This may take some time. Just work to create an open space where they feel, and again, it's about them, they feel safe discussing both work-related issues and personal challenges. Because if your genuine interest shows through in their well-being, it can help them feel valued and understood. And this is not going to be a one and done. This is not a checkbox exercise. You then have to go into regular check-ins. You're going to have to schedule one-on-one check-ins with this employee. These meetings should not be solely focused on work tasks. The best meetings I ever had with a team were small 30-minute meetings every month or so where it wasn't work related at all. But they had this safety feeling, this psychological safety feeling where they could just be themselves, which really improved the work. It improved the relationship. It improved the connection. So these meetings, these regular check-ins, should be for them to share their progress, their challenges, any support they may need. Use them to demonstrate your commitment to their growth and development, to listening, to understanding their challenges. It's also a place that you can show your willingness to provide guidance and assistance when necessary. But first, fix the relationship before you start throwing that guidance and assistance around. So if you haven't heard enough of this in this episode, listen again, and then prove you listened with regular check-ins. Here's a pro tip I kind of mentioned if I glossed over it too quickly. Don't provide feedback or recognition right away. Don't talk about things they can change or blow smoke up their ass when you're like, oh, but I mentioned you're the best ever. When an employee doesn't have a high opinion of their leader, of their direct report, when that relationship is fractured, feedback, recognition, it actually won't mean anything because they don't have the type of relationship with you where it matters, where it's got resonance. Focus on fixing the relationship first. This is where servant leadership is vital. So take those one-word answers for what they are, a sign that we need as leaders to demonstrate what leadership looks like for that employee and for the organization. Okay? And that will do it for another mini episode of Relationships at Work, the leadership guide to creating a workplace we love. My name is Russel Lolacher. Thank you again for joining. If you get a chance, check out our show on the newly launched YouTube channel. That's right, just Relationships at Work under Russel Lolacher, and you will see my smiling face and the brilliant brains of some of the guests that have been on the show. I release a new episode every Friday, so if you have a moment, please like it, subscribe it. Simple as that. Take care.